And before I get into today's very important lecture, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters and everyone for supporting my channel. You know, my YouTube channel truly would not be where it's at today without all of my supporters. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is how to travel abroad. How to travel abroad without going in debt. And all you need to do is planning. Real talk, people. You know, I'm in the process of the third consecutive year in getting ready to travel abroad. December of 2023, I took a guided tour to Cairo, Egypt. It was breathtaking, people. Absolutely breathtaking. November of 2024, I took a guided tour to Rome and Italy, and it was just breathtaking. And now I'm in preparation of getting ready to plan a trip abroad to Paris, the first of the year. And I'm telling you, I have been able to do all these things, number one, without going in debt. And number two, with strategic planning, you got to go through a travel agent. Do not try to do it by yourself. I tell anybody, go through a travel agent, get a package deal. And this will be the third consecutive year I've been using vacation to go. I actually was referred to use that travel agent by one of my co-workers prior to me retiring in September 2023, and the rest is history. You know, when I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt for well over 10 days, it was about in that time guided tour, it was about 10 of us in that guided tour. You know, and we went to see many throughout Egypt and Africa, you know, many of the 7 wonders of the world, people. It was life-changing to walk inside of the Giza Pyramid, to walk inside of the Valley of the Kings, to ride on the biblical Nile River. It was breathtaking. Ramsey 1 through 9. Each day, you know, we have an itinerary. You're meeting people from all over the world, people. And, you know, in a lot of that downtime, I spent a lot of downtime walking in the ancient streets of Egypt, people, talking to full-blooded Egyptians. I could have never learned what I learned. And they are still digging. They are still digging near those pyramids, and to witness that with my own eyes. To, you know, check out a lot of my live footage on my popular videos where I did limited live footage as I was walking inside of the great Ramsey, the first people. You know, to see, you know, and all of that predates Christ. The ancient Egyptian pyramids and the biblical Nile River all predates Christ. And it was life-changing. You know, what they teach us in school serves no purpose. You have got to go see with your own eyes. With your own eyes, many of these 7 wonders of the world. And to be able to do all this just by planning without going in debt. When I book those trips, those guided tours, the bill be already paid, people. And by me being a businesswoman, not just because I'm a content creator, but because I am a content creator, all of the money that I spend on these guided tours is a 100% business write-off, because when I'm doing this, I'm doing limited live footage of all of these historical sites when I'm over there. But my main focus is to enjoy that experience. And I'm telling you, I'm getting ready to take my third trip abroad. This location would be Paris. And to be able to travel this world and see these 7 wonders of the world without going in debt, without creating new debt, without owing anybody anything, and you prepare, you begin to budget and plan, be strategic, pull your money together. When I was on that guided tour to Rome and Italy, walking inside of the 16th chapel, the Vatican City, you know, the Roman Colosseum, all of those ancient Roman buildings in Rome and Italy, the vineyards, it was breathtaking. It was absolutely breathtaking. And when I'm doing this, I'm already planning and being strategic for my next travel trip abroad. Real talk, people. And I'm telling you, to do this on a guided tour for well over 10, 11 days, and I'm telling you, the most I spend is less than $4,000. You're talking about a life-changing travel abroad experience with less than $4,000. That includes everything. That includes all of the attractions, the plane fare, motel, everything. Everything. You got folks spending more than $4,000 go to Vegas. You got folks spending more than $4,000 go to Disney World in Orlando. Really? Take that same money and go see this world, people. Take that same money and walk inside of the Giza pyramids and witness hieroglyphs that was written by the ancient Egyptians. And it was breathtaking. You know, I felt, when I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt, I felt the presence of God walking, riding on that biblical Nile River. You read about that biblical Nile River in the Bible, people. All of that predates Christ. And it was life-changing. And meeting people from all over the world. Real talk. And I'm telling you, you know, you get your passport, have that ready, go through a reputable travel agent, save your money, start setting up a game plan each month. You're going to save a certain amount of money to prepare for this guided tour to begin to go see these 7 wonders of the world. That school, what I experienced, you ain't gonna learn in school. No, because what school teach us is a lie. You got to go over there and you got to talk to those Egyptians, those Egyptian historians. You got to see it with your own eyes, to be at the base of the Giza pyramid, people. That is well over 4,600 years old. That was a life-changing. To walk inside of those pyramids, it was breathtaking. I will never forget that as long as I live. You know, when they show on TV, serves no purpose. What they teach us in school serves no purpose. No, you got to go and see it yourself and talk to those people from that culture. Real talk. And I'm telling you, that is how I'm able to travel this world as long as God gives me breath. Every year, I'm going somewhere in this world to continue to go see the 7 wonders of the world, debt-free, all by being strategic, all by using a reputable travel agent, all by being strategic and planning and saving my money, all by keeping my passport updated. And another powerful tip, travel light. When I go, I travel extremely light because I don't want to be bothered with lugging stuff around. I take one backpack. I'm military, I'm minimalistic. Travel light so you can enjoy the experience, so you can learn about the culture, people. I'm telling you, you need to check out my popular videos when I did all that live footage when I went to Rome, Italy, Cairo, Egypt. It's all there. And it was life-changing. And to be in its power, to be able to do that debt-free. It's power to be able to do that without creating new debt. Real talk. And every time I travel abroad, I make it my business to bring their currency back, some of their currency back home to the United States, because you got to do that currency exchange. So, and it's power. It is power, people. Now I make sure I bring some of that currency or whatever country I'm going in. So I'm literally, as I speak right now, because early next year I will be in Paris. But already now I'm planning to get ready to do a lot of behind the scenes stuff to prepare my travel abroad to Paris for about 10 days, debt free. I'm gonna use the same travel agent. In the process of update my passport, even though I got another good year on my passport, but I'm gonna go ahead and update my passport now. I don't already start communicating with my travel agent now, because early next year, I'm gonna be in Paris, and I'm gonna do limited live footage. I'm gonna meet people from all over the world, and I have been seeing explosive growth in the sales of my book when I'm traveling abroad, because I'm turning them on to my book as an author who went through 2 world-renowned publishing companies. Or when I'm traveling abroad and meet people from all over the world, I'm seeing explosive growth as a monetized content creator, explosive growth in my channel. I'm seeing explosive growth in brand deals, people, because I have tapped into the international market, not just as a content creator, but as a businesswoman. And even if I wouldn't have been a content creator, I still had on my bucket list, as long as God gives me breath. Now, since I'm fully retired, I am on a mission. I'm on a trajectory path to continue to go see the 7 wonders of the world, debt-free, without creating new debt, as long as God give me breath. And that is how I've been able to do it. Because like I said, you got people spending more than $4,000 to go to Walt Disney's World. You got people spending more than $4,000 to go to Vegas. You got people spending more than $4,000 when they spending and splurging throughout the weekend. I'm spending less than that, people, to go see many of the 7 wonders of the world, debt-free, real talk. So again, share this information in regards to that you really truly can go see this world debt-free without creating new debt, by being strategic, by being planning your money, by going through a travel agent, by making sure you got the passport updated. And when you go to these places, you ain't gonna return the same. When you ride on the biblical Nile River, your behind ain't returning the same. When you walk inside of the Giza Pyramid in the Valley of the Kings, Ramsey 1 through 9, your behind ain't returning the same to stand before a structure that is well over 4,600 years old. It's bigger than science, bigger than man. You know, God gave those Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, the power and the skills to erect those phenomenal structures. Still today, with all the technology in the world, they still don't know how they did it. But I'm going to tell you how they did it. They were guided by the Spirit. They were guided by God. Was God bigger than man, bigger than technology, bigger than AI? With all this technology in the world, when I went over there, they are still digging, people. They're still digging near those Giza pyramids. And we just think of the 3 big pyramids, but when you go to Cairo, Egypt, people, in reality it's 9. There are 9 pyramids out there. There are 9 pyramids. And to see this and to touch these structures with my hand was life-changing. See, they ain't no teacher that in school. They are still finding secret doors and compartments in Cairo, Egypt, all throughout Africa, upper Egypt, lower Egypt, pyramids all throughout Africa, people. Those ancient temples all throughout Africa, upper, lower, all throughout. And to be able to walk through those ancient temples to see those hieroglyphics, I'm telling you, I felt the presence of God. Real talk. That's all I can say. I tell anybody, before you leave this earth, you have got to make a trip to Egypt. You have got to make Egypt, Africa, and go through a guided tour. Be guided by the ancient, be guided by those full-blooded Egyptians. They know their culture. They speak multiple languages. They speak multiple languages. I was at an Egyptian coffee shop on some of my downtime when I took that guided tour to Cairo, Egypt. I was at and that coffee, their coffee, you ain't gonna be able to just drink their coffee. Not no full Egyptian coffee, no. You got to sip that stuff. I was talking to a retired Egyptian professor at an Egyptian coffee shop, and he literally, full-blooded Egyptian, he literally told me that still today, with all this technology in the world, they cannot figure out the source of the Nile River. The Nile River is run to upper Egypt or lower Egypt, go through multiple countries. They cannot find the source of the biblical Nile River. And my thought is the source of the biblical Nile River, people, is God. God is the source. God ain't gonna show us everything. He ain't gonna show us everything. No, and he deliberately set it up that way. But that just goes to show the power of God. With all of this technology in the world, they cannot solve the mysteries of Africa, and they never will. Because the more they think they know, the more God will slowly reveal to them something that just blows their mind. But I'm telling you, to ride on the biblical Nile River, to walk and touch that water, I felt the presence of God. Real talk. And all I can say, you got to go experience it yourself. You got to get up and get your passport and go to Cairo, Egypt, and experience some of these 7 wonders of the world that they've been telling us about, their version throughout our life. You got to go and you got to experience yourself. You got to learn from full-blooded Egyptians who know their culture and know their language like the back of their hands. So that's all I have. Simple fidelis, and I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.